You ever wonder why some people seem to attract the right opportunities effortlessly, while others keep trying, pushing, and still feel stuck? It's not about working harder. It's not even about thinking positively. It's about something far more subtle, something almost no one talks about, the power of silence. What if I told you, the moment you stop telling the world what you're manifesting, the universe finally starts responding? That keeping your goals to yourself, moving quietly, and aligning your subconscious in silence is what actually triggers the miracles. Sounds counterintuitive, I know, but that's exactly what scientist Jacobo Grinberg uncovered. And once you understand how this neuronal field works, everything changes. In this video, you're going to learn why silent actions have more vibrational weight than loud intentions, how sharing your dreams too early tricks your brain into quitting, and what daily practices actually rewire your subconscious for manifestation, flow, and synchronicity. Because this isn't just about changing habits, this is about changing who you're becoming. So if any part of you is tired of forcing things to happen, stay with me. What you're about to discover could unlock a level of ease and clarity you didn't know was possible. And hey, if this message already hits different, drop a like and comment, so YouTube keeps feeding you videos that speak to this version of you. Most people don't realize this, but silence isn't absence, it's amplification. When you act in silence, you're not hiding, you're harnessing. Every silent action builds tension in the unseen world, creating a vibration so pure that the universe can't ignore it. Loud declarations might sound brave, but they leak energy. Quiet moves, they store it. There's a reason ancient sages meditated. In caves, and warriors trained in solitude, silence is not passive, it's potent. When you move in silence, you're tuning your vibration without interference, away from judgment, doubts, or even praise. External opinions dilute intention, but in your own sacred stillness, manifestation speeds up like fire catching wind. Think about it. How many dreams died the moment they were shared too early? A quick compliment, a raised eyebrow, a skeptic's smirk, and suddenly your energy drops. That's because expression too soon triggers the brain's reward system. It makes your subconscious think you've already arrived, and so it stops pushing. But here's where it gets wild. Silent progress creates something most people never get to experience: synchronicity. Moments when the right person calls, the job opens up, or the book you needed falls into your hands. It's not magic, it's alignment. And alignment requires flow, not force. Imagine your manifestations like seeds. If you dig them up every day to show others, they'll never grow. But if you plant them in silence, water them with affirmations, and trust the vibration you're holding, they flourish. Quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means everything is. And yes, I know, it's tempting to share. You want to feel seen, validated. But pause for a moment. Who are you telling, and why? Are you affirming your vision, or looking for someone to believe in it for you? Because here's the truth. If you don't believe it yet, no one else can hold that frequency for you. Close your eyes. Imagine walking through life knowing something incredible is coming because you planted it, felt it, and never needed to explain it. That confidence, that vibration, it magnetizes miracles. But how does science explain this field where your silent actions ripple out into reality? That's where it gets really interesting. Few people talk about this, but science is finally catching up to what mystics knew for centuries. Reality is not fixed, it's filtered. Jacobo Grinberg's research cracked open the idea that we're not observing reality. We're creating it through our consciousness. He called it the neuronal field, a vibrational web where every possibility already exists. What decides what we pull from it? Our frequency. Here's the kicker. Your thoughts don't just bounce around your brain, they ripple into the field. The more aligned your inner vibration, the more reality starts matching you. That's why some people attract synchronicities effortlessly while others hit wall after wall. It's not luck, it's resonance. What you are internally determines what shows up externally. One of Grinberg's most powerful ideas: the brain is not just a receiver, it's a projector. And if your subconscious is loaded with fear, doubt, or past programming, guess what kind of world you keep seeing? The same one, again and again. Silent actions, fueled by conscious intention, begin to shift that projection over time. Now pause, because this part is subtle but life-changing. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what your vibration says you believe is possible. Ever notice how affirmations sometimes feel like lies? That's because if they don't touch the subconscious, they don't shift the field. Emotion is the bridge between thought and transformation. Let me tell you about Maya. She journaled, visualized, did everything right, but nothing changed until she stopped trying and started aligning. She cleared space, let go of what wasn't hers, and lived in gratitude for what hadn't even arrived yet. Then, flow. Synchronicities, a dream client, a new apartment, within weeks. So ask yourself, are you thinking your future into being or feeling it? There's a difference. Real manifestation isn't a list, it's a frequency. And the subconscious? It doesn't speak logic, it speaks emotion, repetition, vibration. That's why so many people stay stuck. They change the wallpaper, but not the walls. Remember what we said about the power of silence. Now imagine combining it with this understanding, that your entire reality bends to your vibration. So what happens when you speak too soon about a goal and your subconscious mistakes it for truth? That's where the next piece gets tricky. You probably never realize this, but talking about your goals can actually kill them. Not because people are rooting against you, but because your brain can't tell the difference between speaking and doing. The moment you share it, dopamine hits, as if you've already accomplished it. And that, right there, weakens your drive. Imagine training for a marathon. You haven't run a mile yet, but you tell everyone, they cheer, they're impressed. You feel good. And suddenly, that fire inside dims. That subtle, powerful tension between where you are and where you're going. Gone, that's the danger. Dopamine without progress is like applause without performance. Your subconscious is always listening, and when you talk too soon, it thinks the job is done. You trick your vibration into satisfaction without having actually moved. Silent actions, on the other hand, build pressure, the kind of sacred, focused tension that fuels real momentum. That's where manifestation becomes magnetic. It's not about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about protecting the energy before it's stable, before the roots are deep enough to hold against wind. Think of a candle in the wind. It needs a shield before it becomes a flame strong enough to stand on its own. Oversharing exposes your vision to the storm. Now here's a twist. Oversharing doesn't just mess with your mind. It opens the door for other people's projections to seep in. Subtle doubts, side comments, jealousy disguised as concern. These vibrations can entangle with yours and distort your focus. Silent growth keeps your vibration clean, pure, undiluted. Here's a practical shift. Instead of saying what you're going to do, share what you've already done. Not as validation, but as vibration. Let your results speak louder than your voice. Let gratitude guide your words, not insecurity. Protect the vibration. That's how you stay in flow and out of ego. So, what goal have you been broadcasting? Too soon? What truth have you leaked before it was ready? It's not too late to pull back, reset the energy, and re-enter silence. And now that you understand how speech rewires the subconscious, wait until you see how your beliefs have been doing the same all along. They told you to think positive, right? But no one told you your subconscious might be silently screaming the opposite. Beneath every decision, every reaction, every block is a belief, planted years ago, often in childhood. And most people are still living out scripts they never consciously agreed to. You may want success, but if your subconscious associates success with danger, abandonment, or exhaustion, guess what happens? Self-sabotage, delays, confusion. That's because the subconscious isn't logical. It's emotional. It doesn't care about what you say. It cares about what you felt over and over again. That's what shapes your vibration. Here's a hard truth. If you were told money is hard to get, you're too much, or you'll never be enough, those phrases may still be echoing inside you today, unconsciously, and they color every opportunity, every risk, every dream. You don't see life as it is. You see it as your subconscious believes it to be. Take Daniel, brilliant mind, big ideas, but every time opportunity knocked, he found a way to miss it. Why? Because deep inside, he carried a belief, I'll mess it up anyway. It wasn't conscious, but it was loud. Until he rewrote that, vibration through repetition, gratitude, and aligned silent actions, everything changed. This is why affirmations sometimes don't work. If you say, I am worthy, but your subconscious says, no, you're not, there's a conflict, a split frequency, and guess which one manifests? The louder one. And the subconscious always shouts in silence. You feel it in your gut, in your hesitation, in your patterns. Want to know how to spot a subconscious belief? Look at your life. It's a perfect mirror of what you've been vibrating, consciously or not. And the good news, beliefs can be rewritten. The subconscious is not a prison, it's a program. And programs can be updated if you know how. So how do you change what you believe without even knowing you believe it? How do you shift the felt truths lodged deep in your nervous system? It starts with repetition, but not the kind you think. The kind that feels, the kind that creates new emotional grooves. That's what we'll explore next. Most people repeat their pain more than their power, not because they want to, but because repetition is the language of the subconscious. Whatever gets repeated emotionally becomes truth. It's not just about saying affirmations, it's about feeling them so deeply that your subconscious starts believing they were always true. Take this in. I am enough. Simple, right? Now say it after a heartbreak, after rejection. Say it when everything feels like it's falling apart. That's when it counts. That's when your vibration is raw and change is possible. Repetition isn't powerful because it's frequent. It's powerful because it's felt in vulnerable moments. Visualization works the same way. If you imagine something with emotion, see it, smell it, feel it, your subconscious begins to accept it as familiar, and what feels familiar becomes achievable. That's the hack. That's the flow. You're not tricking your mind. You're training it to remember a future that wants to find you. Here's a micro practice. Every morning, write down 3 affirmations that feel slightly uncomfortable, but possible. Then embody them. I attract abundance. Now, walk like it, dress like it, make decisions like it. That's how repetition becomes vibration. Silent actions aligned with conscious statements. That's how manifestation accelerates. Now let's break a myth. Reprogramming doesn't mean pretending to be happy all the time. It means choosing what you reinforce. You can feel doubt, but you don't have to repeat it. You can feel fear, but not affirm it. Your subconscious listens for patterns, not exceptions. Train the pattern. Gratitude is another secret weapon. When you pair affirmations with real, heartfelt gratitude, everything shifts. Thank you for the clarity that's coming. Thank you for the opportunities aligning now. That's not fantasy. That's vibrational trust. And trust, repeated, reshapes the subconscious like water-carved stone. So now you're probably wondering, how do I stay in that energy long enough to enter true alignment? What does it take to lock into such deep focus that time fades, doubts vanish, and the right things just click? Well, that's the magic of flow. You know that feeling when hours pass like minutes, and everything just clicks? That's flow. It's not random, it's a state you enter, and here's the secret. Flow isn't something you force, it's something you allow. It happens when your vibration, your actions, and your subconscious are all in sync. Flow is where synchronicity lives. It's the invisible thread connecting your inner clarity with outer events. That moment when you think of someone and they call, when the perfect idea drops mid-shower, when you're doing the work but it doesn't feel like work. That's the universe saying, you're aligned. But let's be real. Most people don't live here. They live in survival, in overthinking, in noise. Flow can't survive in chaos. It needs space, silence, trust. And here's the paradox. You can't chase flow. You have to set the conditions for it to show up. Like a river, it only moves when the path is clear. Want to know the trigger? Presence. Flow begins the moment you stop trying to control everything and start experiencing what's actually happening. Your breath, your body, the now, that's the doorway. Silent actions taken from presence have a vibration so pure, they draw synchronicity like a magnet. And when you're in flow, manifestation speeds up. You stop doubting, stop forcing, you just follow the next intuitive nudge. The right words appear, the right people arrive. It's like the universe says, finally, you're listening. And gratitude becomes natural. Not because you're faking it, but because you're in it. Here's a tip. Do more of what makes you forget time. Writing, dancing, designing, cooking, whatever plugs you back into yourself, do it often. Not because it's productive, but because it's magnetic. Flow is the playground of your higher self, and it's in those moments your vibration becomes unstoppable. But what happens when the flow stops? When nothing clicks? When your energy feels stuck and nothing seems to move? That's not failure, that's a message. And it's pointing to the next step most people resist, but it's where the real shift happens. Here's the part most people avoid: letting go. It sounds soft, passive, even weak, but in truth, it's one of the most active things you can do. Letting go is not giving up. It's choosing not to fight the flow. It's the silent action of release, and it sends a vibration of deep trust into the field. Non-resistance isn't laziness, it's alignment. When you stop gripping the outcome so tightly, you create space for the universe to move. And the irony? The tighter you hold, the more it slips. Ever chased love, money, or clarity and felt it get further? That wasn't rejection. That was resistance. Let me tell you about Lucia. She kept visualizing her dream job, applied everywhere, got nothing. Then one night she wrote a letter of surrender, burned it, said, "I trust that what's mine will find me." Days later, boom, unexpected offer, better salary. She didn't give up, she let go, and her vibration shifted. Gratitude is the bridge here. When you can say thank you before the thing arrives, you collapse time. Gratitude is future tense trust. It says, I know it's on the way, so I'm already aligned with it. That's a high vibration, and high vibrations don't chase, they attract. The ego wants control, it wants guarantees, but the subconscious thrives in faith. That's why the art of surrender works. It speaks directly to the part of you that creates your reality. Silent trust carries more weight than loud desperation. Scarcity blocks, faith opens. What you release returns. Want to practice? Tonight, write down what you're gripping too tightly, a goal, a fear, a timeline. Then ask, what am I afraid will happen if I let this go? Sit with it, feel it, then breathe it out. You don't need to abandon your dreams, you just need to stop strangling them. And when you finally stop clenching the outcome, something incredible happens. Opportunities knock without warning. Flow returns. Synchronicity sparks again. But there's one last piece people forget in this dance of manifestation, and it's the one most underestimate. Growth is never loud. It's the quiet cracking of the shell before the sprout appears. The most powerful transformations don't come with fireworks, they come with faith. Faith that your vibration is doing its work. Faith that your silent actions are stirring something unseen. Manifestation isn't microwave magic. It's organic evolution. Think about a seed. You plant it, water it, wait. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust. You know nature moves in perfect timing. But when it comes to your life, do you offer the same patience? Or do you panic at the first sign of silence? Most people quit right before things bloom, not because it's not working, but because they can't see it working. That's why gratitude matters so much. It keeps your vibration stable during the invisible phases. When nothing looks like it's changing, gratitude whispers, keep going. The roots are growing. Let me tell you about Malik. Spent years chasing success, changing strategies every month. Nothing stuck until he committed to one vision, showed up for it daily, and trusted the process, even when the results were invisible. 8 months. Later, a viral moment, a flood of clients. But it started with stillness. Patience isn't passive, it's powerful. It takes more strength to stay when you see nothing than to jump ship looking for the next quick fix. Your subconscious registers that staying power. It learns, we don't run, we rise. And that belief begins to shape your entire reality. Here's a grounding practice. Every night, write down one thing that grew today, even if it's small. A thought, a choice, a shift in mindset. Track the invisible. Celebrate the unseen. It trains your vibration to expect progress, and that expectation becomes a magnet. So what if everything you've been asking for is already unfolding, just not in the way you expected? What if your only job now is to stay open, grateful, and present? Because the daily practices we'll cover next are where the inner and outer world finally meet. You don't rise by accident, you rise by ritual. The difference between people who manifest consistently and those who don't. Practice. Small daily choices that train your subconscious, amplify your vibration, and align you with flow. The secret isn't in doing more, it's in doing the right things repeatedly. Start here. Every morning, sit in silence. Just 5 minutes, breathe. Let your mind settle. This simple act calibrates your frequency before the world gets loud. Then speak your affirmations, not like you're begging, but like you're remembering. I am safe. I am seen. I am exactly where I need to be. Now layer in visualization, not just seeing, but feeling. Imagine walking into the version of your life you've been calling in. Touch the doorknob, smell the room, hear the version of you who already lives that reality. This isn't fantasy, it's subconscious reprogramming. You're building the memory of a future you haven't met yet, and whatever you do, keep it to yourself. Protect your field. Silent actions strengthen your vibration. Oversharing drains it. It's not about hiding. It's about holding the energy until it's strong enough to walk into a room before you do. That's manifestation in motion. That's sacred discipline. Gratitude, make it non-negotiable, not just for what you have, but for what's coming. Thank you for the clarity I'm stepping into. Thank you for the peace unfolding now. That kind of gratitude sends a frequency that makes manifestation inevitable, because you're already vibrating at the finish line. Here's a simple structure to anchor in. Silence, 5 mins. Affirmations, 3 lines. Visualization, 1 scene. Gratitude, 2 moments. Action, 1 step aligned with your vision. It takes 15 minutes, but it rewires your entire subconscious reality over time. So let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you lived this way for 30 days? No more waiting, no more hoping, just consistent, conscious, silent action. Because transformation isn't about chasing a new version of you. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs to chase. You've just been handed a new lens. One that doesn't scream, but whispers. A lens that sees the power not in what's loud, but in what's aligned. So here's the question. What belief do you need to let go of today? What goal have you been chasing out of fear, when all it needed was silence, repetition, and trust? This isn't theory. It's transformation, and it starts the moment you stop outsourcing your power and start living from within. Start speaking less and vibrating more. Start thanking what hasn't arrived yet, and watch how fast it comes. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these truths hit you hardest? What part of your daily life are you ready to shift? Starting now, drop it in the comments. Say it without over-explaining. That alone is a powerful action. If this video sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs this silent reminder, someone who's been stuck in noise and is ready to hear the call beneath it. And hey, don't stop here. If this video gave you insight into manifestation and the subconscious, click here and keep walking this path with me. That next video is a step deeper. And I have a feeling it's exactly what your soul's been asking for. Let's go there together.